YouTube, it's me again. I'm coming on to show you a crockpot meal. Well, another crockpot meal. I'm going to be showing you today how to make crockpot beef stroganoff. And it's not really like fully cooking it in the crockpot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to saute the onions and mushrooms first in butter and oil before putting them in the crock pot. I'm also going to cook up and season up my meat. Well, actually, no. Scratch that. Today, when I do this, I'm actually going to cook the meat in the sauce in the crock pot. And then later on, but you guys won't see this part on video, I will be cooking up my noodles and getting them in the crock pot just because I want to make sure my noodles cook all the way. So, with that being said, let me see if I have a smaller pan in here. Oh, good, I do. I'm gonna get a smaller pan to saute up my onions and my mushrooms in butter and oil, and then I will go from there showing you, you know what? No, because I still need to be able to put the sauce together. So let me just move my pan and I'm going to go ahead and get started. All right. Oh, let me show you everything I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be using some chicken broth, butter, cream cheese. This is about a block of cream cheese. Garlic. Onion powder, paprika, pepper, salt. I have a half an onion diced up right here on my cutting board. Of course, mushrooms. And then today I'm using sirloin steak for this, and that's sitting in the sink. It's finished defrosting, so I just have it there right now still in the package. And then of course the organic egg noodles, which will come later on, and you guys won't see that part. And what's not pictured here is milk. So we're gonna put in half a stick of butter. And I have to go check on my little one. She's getting upset. I'm not too sure what she's needing. So we're gonna let this oil and butter warm up, and I'm gonna check on the baby, and yeah. Okay, I'm back. So my oil and my butter are still coming together. My butter is still melting. So what I'm about to do right now is I'm going to get ready and put the onions in the pan. And just use my hands. Alright, so there's that. Let me get a spoon. And I have my stove stove set on 4, but I'm thinking I'm going to turn it up higher just so that this can get going a little quicker. And then while I'm here, okay, now it's sizzling. So then while I'm here and the onions are going and sizzling, I'm going to I'm going to check my mushrooms first of all, just because I want to make sure that there's no bad ones. And then I'm going to chop up some mushrooms to go into this. And then the rest of the mushrooms that I don't use, I'm going to use them for chicken pot pie and also for homemade cream of mushroom soup for next month's Thanksgiving and green bean casserole. They all look the same, so we're just going to take some of this out and chop it up. And the husband and the kids really don't care for mushrooms, so I chop them up really small so they don't really notice that they're there. And there's more. Let me see. Let me put you in your fountain real quick so I can chop these mushrooms. Because I need my hands to bleed. Hi. Hi, my gorgeous. Yeah, that's all this baby. So now I'm going to turn this down. I don't want my onions to burn. I just want them to be high enough to cook and get a nice, get the raw taste out of them. So right now I'm about to chop up my mushrooms into little pieces so that I can get these in the pan. So you're just going to give them a chop. Doesn't matter how you chop them. You can chop them big, small, just chop them. Little one, she just wanted to be able to see me. She thought she was by herself. She's not. Mama's here with her, hanging out. Mama's, oh, sorry, my face started itching. Why is it whenever you're cooking, your face itches? All right. So I'm getting these all chopped. My onions are opaque, and I want to make sure when I chop my mushrooms that they're in little pieces as much as possible because they are part of the dish, and I'm trying to get people to understand that, mushrooms do not hurt you, they're good for you. So okay, so my mushrooms are chopped, and now I'm just going to add them into the pan, and let me rinse my hand off real quick. Okay. I'm gonna add them into the pan. And we're just gonna get these going. I'm going to just season this with salt and pepper for now, because when I do the most of the seasoning, it's going to be in the crock pot. So salt and pepper. Alright, so now that that's together, we are going to keep going and make the sauce. So into my pan with the mushrooms and onions, I'm going to be adding about a half a carton of chicken broth. And you can add the whole carton if you want. It's all up to you. But for now, just to get the sauce going, it's just a half a carton. And then just add a little bit more. Okay. Okay, and we're going to season this up. Pepper. My face is itching, I don't know why. Salt. Paprika. Onion. Garlic. And you can use minced garlic in this. It doesn't always have to be powder, but right now it's just faster for me to use the powder. Alright, we're going to give this a stir. We're going to let this, I'm making a mess. We're going to let this come up to a boil, and I'm also going to go and I'm going to get my milk. And I'm going to get the milk added in to this. And we're going to do about a half a cup of milk. Alright. Normally I use some heavy whipping cream, so it would be a half a cup of milk and a half a cup of heavy cream, but I don't have any heavy cream, so I'm not going to worry about it for right now. I'm just going to use the milk. And then while that's coming together, I'm going to get started cutting my meat. Now mind you, I am going to clean my meat because when I separated it, I didn't wash it, I just separated it so that it was ready to go to be used. Now, I'm using sirloin steak. You can use any type of beef that you want. I mean, you can even use ground beef, or if you really wanted to, you could use chicken. Or you can make this vegetarian style and not use any meat at all. But today I'm using sirloin steak, and I'm going to cut this into small pieces. Let me get my crock pot pretty much on, it's going to be on high because I want this to be done by dinner time. And I'm going to get this nice and ready. And I'm cutting it into pieces this big. So this is how big I'm cutting the meat. Just straight into the crock pot. Alright, so I got that small one done, and now I'm going to cut up this big one. And I'm going to just make sure I have it spread out evenly in the pan, in my crock pot pan. So we're going to cut this, and I'll probably get a lot of meat from this, but that's okay, because it's going to be nice and delicious in the crock pot. And then before I add in the sauce to the crock pot, I will be thickening it up just a little bit, and I will also be checking it for seasoning. Oh, and then I also got to make sure I add in the cream cheese. So let me get the rest of this meat cut up, and then I will do those last few things. And if you have to cut some of the pieces of the meat smaller, you can, just because I know that certain parts of the meat are going to be a little bit bigger. So like right here, I just cut it in half, just so that it matches. It's all almost the same. And what I'm doing with the mushrooms is I'm cooking some of the rawness out, because, you know, mushrooms, that needs to happen. So yeah, let me get right here. And then as I'm cutting this, if there's areas of fat that need to be cut, I'm cutting it off. So yeah. And I'm also trying to hurry up and get this done, because I'm still working, and I told one of my families, oh my gosh, this is driving me crazy, that I would call them 10 minutes to 11 o'clock just because I have to go take my car in the shop. You know, fun times being an adult. So I'm getting my meat in the crock pot. And here we go. We're almost done with this piece. I got one more piece to cut, and then I'll be done with this, and I will be finishing up my sauce. And now my kids, when I make this, they prefer this to like Hamburger Helper. So I don't really buy Hamburger Helper because we don't really eat it. I do a lot of homemade meals just because it's what we prefer. Plus I try to do as less processed foods as possible, just because it messes with the digestive system, unfortunately. Plus, one of my children was pretty much obese when I got her, and so we've been helping her lose weight. And one of the biggest ways that we've done that is we've cut out a lot of sugar out of the diet, and we've cut out a lot of processed foods. So we don't eat ramen noodles, we don't really eat boxed macaroni and cheese, we don't really eat box stuffing, we don't eat Hamburger Helper out of the box. Like a lot of the things that, you know, convenience, we don't do, because we've been helping her lose weight, which I can say that she's lost over 100 pounds. She is pretty much 20 pounds lighter than me. She's 120 pounds. So that's the thing, is she's still technically obese for her age, but you wouldn't even know it because now her body type and weight matches. So that's a good, so we've been sticking with it, and we've been trying to be as big of a support to her as we possibly can. And we eat a lot of, as much organic as we possibly can. Not just because of her, but just by choice overall. Let me wash my hands real quick. Okay, so now continuing with this, I am getting ready to add in the cream cheese. And to make it a little more rich, I'm also going to add in the other half of the butter stick. Make sure to get all the foil off. Okay, so there's that in. And we're going to get this in. The cream cheese is mainly for the creaminess, not to make it cheesy. You could make this cheesy if you wanted, but it's mostly to add another level of cream to the dish. So there's that. And then what I'm about to do is I'm actually about to season the meat by itself real quick. Put some seasoning on it, just so that the meat already has something besides just the sauce. Alright, and I'm going to just get a regular spoon real quick. And I'm going to just stir this around in the crock pot. The crock pot is on high, but I'm just coating all the meat in seasoning. So I want you to come over here and have a look. So you see my meat is just being coated in seasoning. I'll get y'all a little closer. So there's the meat in the crock pot. Alright, so now we're going to get you focused back over here at the stove. I'm going to put the spoon in there, and we're going to get this cream cheese melted in. The butter's almost melted in. Alright, so I'm almost done doing all this. I didn't put a lot of mushrooms just because, like I said, preference with my family. Alright. And I'm going to get a spoon, and I'm going to taste this for seasoning, and I'm going to also get ready to thicken this. Has a nice seasoning to it. It doesn't need anything. Yep. It's perfect the way it is seasoned. So, we are now going to, I'm going to make a little roux, a little cornstarch and water. Actually, a little cornstarch and broth, not water. Okay, and then I'm gonna go get the cornstarch, and I'm gonna just go do this real quick. I'm getting my cornstarch together, and I'm just going to pour this in. It'll finish tightening up. Throw that in the sink. The cream cheese is not all the way incorporated, but that's fine. I'm going to get this poured into the crock pot, and like I said, later on tonight when it's almost time for dinner, I will add in my egg noodles, my organic egg noodles, and finish it off. If I need to add in a little more liquid, I'll add in some more liquid. But that's about it. So I'm gonna get this added in real quick so you guys can see this. It's still, the cream cheese is still trying to finish incorporating, and that's fine. It can do that in the crock pot. So we're just gonna pour this right on in. Make sure you get all the sauce out. Alright, so it's in. I made a small amount of mess pouring it in there, but I'm gonna stir my meat in. And the meat's in there cooking. So it's 10, I got this going, what? 10 o'clock pretty much, so 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so about 7 hours on high, which it'll be ready in less time than that. It'll probably be ready about 3, 4 o'clock, because the meat, as you can see, is already cooking. So yeah, so this is going, and I wish I could show you like the final result, but I'm not gonna, man, the light is crazy right there. Okay, so, but I'm not gonna stress about it just because, you know, it is what it is. So I want you guys to have a good day, be blessed, enjoy your Wednesday, and I will come back to you guys with another video. If you try this meal, I hope you really truly enjoy it. It is one of my favorites, the homemade beef stroganoff. And oh, another thing, you can also add in sour cream to this. So that's another element of flavor. So some sour cream, about a quarter of a cup of sour cream is all you need. But anyways, and I didn't do that today, I used just cream cheese. So I'm gonna leave you guys here. The baby's getting ready to start fussing again because she really wants mama to hold her. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.